What's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here today on Narcissism 101, Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. All right, so before we get into what we're going to talk about today, as usual, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send me a text message at 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you want advice, if you need help, I'd be more than happy to give you the help that you need. If you want to call, just send a text to that number I mentioned and just let me know that it's you and you want to talk about your narcissistic experience just so that I know it's you. And then we will get you the help that you need. So now what we are going to talk about for this session today, for this video today, what we are going to talk about today is ain't no rest for the wicked. Yeah, there ain't no rest for the wicked. And who am I referring to? Yes, that's right. I'm referring to the narcissist. See, we know now, and if you've been watching my videos for quite some time now, one of the things I mention in all of my videos is that narcissists thrive off of chaos, confusion, and control. Now, when it comes down to the narcissist, that's why they can't rest. That's why I mentioned, that's why I tell the videos ain't no rest for the wicked. It's because the narcissist is wicked. And the narcissist is always going 24/7. Now, someone's going to ask me, why is the narcissist always going? Why are they always on the go? Well, the answer to that question is because you have to remember, guys, narcissists, when you're in the relationship with a narcissist, whether that be your parent, whether that be your sibling, your brother, your sister, whether it be your boss, whether it be your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, someone in a church group, it doesn't matter who it is. That doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that narcissists, they need chaos, they need confusion, they need control. And they don't just abuse one person. So when you're in the relationship with them, you may think that they're just doing this to you. When they're gaslighting you, you may feel as though they're just doing this to you. When they are blame shifting you and shifting the blame onto you, that everything is your fault, that you do everything wrong. When they drop, let's say, a piece of paper on the ground, or they leave a sock on the floor, it's your fault. Or when they've overcooked something or burnt something, oh, it's your fault. Or whether if they left the TV on, oh, it's your fault. Or if they locked the door, or if they kept the door unlocked all day while you all were gone, oh, it's your fault. When they shift the blame onto you, or when they're triangulating you. And triangulation, for those who are new to the channel and are learning about narcissism, what triangulation is when the narcissist is bringing a third person, another person, into the mix, into your relationship equation. And what they're doing is they are making that person, you and that person, compete for the narcissist. And this happens a lot in families where you have two siblings, where you have a sibling rivalry, where there's a lot of competition. And one parent says so once to one of the siblings, oh, well, you should be more like your brother. Oh, you should be more like your sister. Oh, this and that. And then you feel as though nothing you do is ever good enough. And now you're being pitted. And I can tell you, it happened in my family as well, where, I was being triangulated against my brothers, and I was made to feel like I was the one who was the perfect one, when in reality, nobody's perfect. And then my brothers, they all resented me all throughout my life because they saw that I was being worshipped, so to speak, by the parents, and they felt bad, and I don't blame them, right? But as we grew up, we found out that that's what was happening. And so the narcissists, they do this because they have to. The reason why they're always on the go, as the title says, ain't no rest for the wicked, is because they have to always be on the go, because they're running away from something. And what that something is they're running away from all the lies that they've told, all the many times that they cheated people, all the many times that they stole from people, all the many times that they cheated on their spouse or their girlfriend or their boyfriend, or they cheated in school. Maybe, and they're running away from a whole bunch of things. They have a lot of demons running throughout their whole person. That's why they always have to be on the go. That's why when they're sleeping, they're not really sleeping. Like when they're laying down and their eyes are closed and they're when it looks like they're sleeping, they're not really sleeping. I'm just letting y'all know they're not really sleeping. What they're doing when they're closing their eyes and they're laying down is they're thinking about whose life they are going to abuse next. They're thinking in their mind, who's next? Who am I going to manipulate? Who am I going to gaslight next? Who am I going to cheat on next? Who am I going to put on hold next? They need to do that. They do this because they have so much demons inside of them. And the thing about narcissists, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, is that narcissists are also drug addicts. They're addicted to drugs, and it makes you think, why? How are they always able to be so on the go? How are they always able to keep on going from supply to supply to supply to supply to supply and have multiple people on the hook at one time? Well, the answer is twofold. The first answer is that, one, they do this so frequently that it becomes second nature to them. The second answer is that is the reason why they're able to keep more than one people on the hook at one time is because of all the drugs that they take to keep them going. Because a normal human being, a normal person that functions like a normal human being, we can only go so much. Our bodies can only go so much until we shut down, until we're tired, until we can't keep going anymore, right? That's why narcissists, when you're in the relationship with a narcissist, you feel drained. That's why when you're around certain people, you feel tired, you feel drained, you feel like they're zapping your energy. You feel as though anything you do for them or with them is never good enough. You don't feel adequate. And that is because the narcissist, there's no rest for the narcissist. They're wicked. They're devils. That's why I made in my recent video, I made a video called The Devil in Disguise. And the narcissist is that. They are the devil in disguise, right? Because that's what they do. This is what feeds their ego. Because the narcissist has such a ego. They have such a, they're like I said, they're so demon possessed. They're full of demons. And they can't sit still. They can't see anybody do better than them. That's why, think about this for a second. Tell me about a time when you were dealing with your narcissist and you brought up a complaint to them, whether it was something that they said to you that you didn't appreciate, whether it was you telling the narcissist that, let's say that you got a really good grade in school. Let's say that you told the narcissist that you got a promotion at work. Let's say that you told the narcissist that, something really good happened in your life and you're just trying to find someone to share it with. And then the narcissist reaction is, let's say that you told them about your promotion. The narcissist was like, oh, okay, well, good for you. Or let's say that you tried to bring up something that they did. Let's say that they said something disrespectful to you and you're trying to address it and have a meaningful, reasonable conversation with them. And then their response to you is, well, it's your fault. It's your fault that I'm acting like that. It's your fault. I didn't do anything wrong. Or they start crying those crocodile tears, which is something my ex-wife did when I would try to have meaningful conversation with her. She would always shut it down and start crying and say, you don't understand. I'm not doing anything wrong. And I'm just standing there like, but we're just having a meaningful conversation. And I'm just trying to, tell you what you did wrong. And then, I would get that evil stare. Or the smirk or whatever. I can't do that because I'm not narcissistic, but I'm just saying that these are things that the narcissist does. They're wicked. They're demons, guys. And that's why I say, when you figure out that someone's a narcissist, you can't continue to give them second chances. You cannot keep on doing it, because I'll tell you this, the more chances, and this is going to sound a little bit extreme and graphic, but whatever, I don't care. The more chances that you give the narcissist, the more times you take them back and say, oh, it's okay, and you give them the more chances you give them is the faster that you are coming to not being alive anymore, to dying. And I know that sounds graphic, but I'm telling you, they will continue to zap your energy so much that you come down with some serious health problems. And when I say health problems, I mean stomach issues and brain problems and hypothyroid problems and you start abusing medicines and drugs and all that, because the narcissist is a demon and they will wreck you every chance they get. And you want to know what the truth is about narcissists as well? They get pleasure seeing your energy get drained. They get pleasure from seeing your resources fall apart, from seeing you lose all your money, lose your job. They get pleasure from all that because narcissists do not like anything good, and they don't like seeing people do better than them because narcissists have an ego. They have a disorder in their mind where it doesn't allow for them to be empathetic, to put themselves in somebody else's shoes. Narcissists can't do that. So that's what I'm saying, that when you figure out that the person you're dealing with is a narcissist, and it doesn't matter who it is, your boss or your parent, or you should cut them off. Block them. Go leave them in the past. You know what I'm saying? Because narcissists, they don't get any better. A relationship or an experience with a narcissist, it's not like you're in a relationship with someone who's toxic. You know what I mean? Toxic people, they can respect you or empathize with you to a point until they can't anymore. But they don't lack empathy. They only choose to not have empathy depending on the person who they're dealing with. And so when it comes down to toxic people, mind you, toxic people, some of the times they don't even know that they're being disrespectful. Some of the times they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't mean to disrespect you like that." And they'll sometimes come. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they're just toxic like that, and you should just leave them alone. But what I'm saying is that the difference between narcissists, and I mentioned this in many of my videos to try and differentiate it, because many commentators, people, and content creators don't, differentiate it properly. The difference between narcissists and toxic people is that not all toxic people are narcissists, but all narcissists are toxic people. I hope you got that. But what I'm saying is that the difference between the two of them is that narcissists lack the ability to empathize. They cannot empathize with people at all. It's either it's black or it's white. And most of the times, narcissists, they don't get on with anybody. They hate everybody. They hate human beings, right? They see human beings as sources of supply. And what is supply? For those who are new to my channel, supply is anything the narcissist can use for energy to make themselves feel better. And supply is anything. It can be another person. It can be a house. It can be going to church and singing songs in the church, acting like they're Christian when they're not. It can be supply from a car. It can be supply from having sex. It can be supply from going to school, from going to work. It can be supply from going for a walk. It can be supply from cooking, from baking. Now, I'm not saying if you go walk your pets or you bake or you cook that I'm not a narcissist. I'm not trying to say that. But what I'm saying is that it all depends on it also depends on the modus operandi which you have. And that is that narcissists, they don't see things as they don't see things like you and I see them, like me, like I'm an empath and you're an empath. Narcissists don't see things that way. They see things as things they can take advantage of. So think about a pet for a minute. If the narcissist has like a pet, like a dog or something like that, or a hamster, whatever, an animal or whatever, they don't see that animal as a beautiful animal created, that's a beautiful animal that needs to be respected. Narcissists will only treat that animal good if it benefits them. Narcissists only, and that relates to everything, right? When it comes down to relationships, you'll only be a good supply, you'll only be around the narcissist, if you're a person in a relationship with them, as long as it benefits them. Once you don't benefit them anymore, they're going to kick you to the curb faster than anything, as fast as that relationship started. I'll tell you that much. So what I'm saying is that narcissists, they are always on the go. That's why there's no rest for the wicked. Pay attention to people who are always on the go. Now when I say people who are always on the go, I'm not talking about people who, work, 12-hour shifts, work 7 days a week. Sometimes people have to do what they have to do to support their families. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that pay attention to people who feel like they always have to be on the go. Let's say that, for example, if you were just to take a day off, let's say, from your work, you would just say, okay, it's just a day off. I'm not going to die if I just take a day off. I'll be fine. I'll live. But then people who always have to be on the go, if they take a day off, then they're going to be frightened. They're going to be scared. They're not going to know what to do because they always have to be on the go, because they're always on the go because they're running away from something. They're running away, and usually that something is all the lies that they've told, all the people who they cheated, all the people that they've stolen from, stolen money from, stolen their vehicles from, stolen things from them that weren't even theirs, right? So pay attention, guys. Keep your eyes open. Also pay attention to people who make things go fast. And when I say go fast, think about relationships, for example. And this relates to the love bomb stage. And I made a video on the love bomb stage, narcissist and the love bombing. I made a video on that. You should go watch it. When it comes down to a love bombing stage, the narcissist does this to hook their victims, to get them hooked, and to draw them into the relationship fast. And they do it fast. The reason why the love bomb stage is a thing, the reason why the narcissist love bombs people is because they want to bring them in fast so that those people don't even have time to figure out who the narcissist is or get to know the narcissist enough to figure out something's wrong with this person. I can't seem to put my finger on it, but something's wrong. And they don't want to give anybody time. They want to do things fast, and then they want to end things fast. Right? I hope you got that. They want to do things fast, and then they want to end things fast. So pay attention to people that are always that are in a hurry all the time. Now, there's a difference between people who are in a hurry sometimes. Sometimes you need to get up in the morning and go fast because, you're busy. You got a lot to do. I get that. But what I'm saying is that pay attention to people who always have to be doing something. They can't just sit still and just relax and just chill out. Just like I'm here in my office here, in my bedroom here, just chilling out. Just sitting here for a minute, just making this video for y'all. Pay attention to the fact that if they always have to get up and just do something, whether that's going for a walk or something, or going to the store to go buy, let's say some cookies or something like that. Or they go, it's like 12 o'clock in the morning and they're saying, and it's a blizzard outside and it's snowing outside, and they say, oh, I have to go to the store to buy some chips. Meanwhile, you guys have 6 bags of chips at home and they're saying, I gotta go buy some chips. And you're just like, but don't we have like 6 bags of chips? And then you're scratching your head saying, what the hell is going on here? And then they go buy the chips, and then they're gone for 3 hours or 4 hours, and then you're looking at your time. You're looking at the time on the wall there, over there, right? Or you're looking at your watch and you're saying, it's 4 hours have gone by. Where is this person? They said that they were just gonna go buy some chips, and that should have you scratching your head saying, I wonder where they are. They're probably with the new supply. They're probably with your replacement. They're probably, on the phone in the car. They probably didn't even go get the chips. They were probably sitting in their car on the phone with the new supply, and they're discussing how they're going to replace you, right? So that's what I'm saying, y'all. There's no rest for the wicked. The narcissists can't rest. They have too many demons inside them to rest. They made a deal with the devil early on in their lives and said, I'm going to take sides with the devil, and I'm not going to do anything that is good. Now, do I know how they did that? No, because every human being is a little bit different, right? But one thing I know is that all narcissists, they all play by the same playbook. They all do the exact same things. They just do it differently to different victims. So if, let's say that you met my ex, that you ended up being in a relationship with my let's say that me and you watching the video, we were both in the relationship with my ex-wife, for example. We both knew her, for example. I can tell you right now, she probably did the same song and dance and nonsense with you, but she just did it in a different way because you're a different human being than I am. I'm Paul Wisdom, and you have a different name. You're of a different person. So she did the same thing, but just in a different way, at a different speed, frequency, because you're a different person than I am. Maybe she did the love bombing stage and she did it and she did it quicker to you than she did to me. I know the love bomb stage for me lasted probably a year or two, or if that, maybe. I can't recall. That was a while ago. But maybe for you, it lasted only a week or a couple weeks. And then before you know it, nothing you did was ever good enough. So what I'm saying is that all narcissists, they all play by the same playbook. And they all can't rest. There's no rest for the wicked, y'all. So that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I hope that this video helped you out. Thank you so much again for being here and joining me here today on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. If you want a one-on-one session, please email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message again to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to call, just send a text to the number and just let me know that you want to call, just so that I know it's you. Because if you just call me, I'm not going to know it's you, and I might just block the number because I don't just answer from unsuspecting numbers anymore. And so, just make sure I know that it's you, just so that I know it's you. And then I'll get you the help that you need. But until then, thank you so much for being here. And, drop a comment, like, subscribe, share it with somebody who you believe could be going through something similar, if it related to you. I also encourage you to watch my experience, because I talk about my experience with narcissism and all that in a podcast I spoke on. I put a link down below in every video. And I hope that this video helped you out, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Again, thank you so much for being here, and until next time.